Zo. Please forgive me if I have if I haven't pronounced your name properly, but she is a project coordinator at one of the partner organizations implementing the 18+ project, the Simukai Child Protection Programme in Zimbabwe. Bridget, please take us through the next session, and thank you for your facilitation.
Okay, thank you, Meti. I think there's actually no need to introduce myself since you've introduced me. So I think I'll get right into it. So this session supposed to be an hour long. I hope we're going to get an hour because it's going to be important to incorporate all the views of the traditional leaders and young people and see how they're actually working together. I think this is an important dialogue because you'll find that most of the causes of child marriages are based on culture and also the misalignment of laws on ending child marriages. And the reason why these two groups were the target groups of the project is to make sure that they assist each other and work together to implement or to pursue the implementation of the law in ending child marriages. So we're going to hear from the young people themselves, and also maybe here and there we have traditional leaders also give us their views on how they have been working together at community level to end child marriages in terms of advocacy, perhaps case responses as well. So because I'm from Zimbabwe, I think I'm going to give Tanzania the privilege to start their presentation. I think we have, I don't know if I can pronounce this well, so I'm going to do the first name. It's Subira from Tanzania. I don't know if Tanzania is ready, so we can hear from Subira. Tanzania, are you there?
We want to share our document.
Jenny, could you please allow them to share?
They're able to share, so all participants are able to share.
Okay, so you can share.
Okay, and before you start, Tanzania, we're going to give you just 10 minutes to do your presentation. Just 10 minutes.
Habari, kwa majina naitwa Subira Chidawa, ni kijana kutoka Tanzania.
Her name is Subira Chahoa. She is a youth representative from Tanzania.
Ni jinsi gani vijana na viongozi wa kijamii tunafanya kazi kwa pamoja katika kutokomeza mimba na ndoa za utotoni.
She's going to present on how youth and traditional leaders have been working together in ending early pregnancy and child marriage.
Katika nchi yetu ya Tanzania, takriban 31% ya watoto wa kike wameolewa wakiwa na umri wa chini ya miaka 18.
In Tanzania, almost 31% of girls are married under the age of 18.
Hii ni idadi kubwa na inapaswa kukomeshwa ili watoto wa kike walindwe na kuendelea sawa na watoto wa kiume.
This is a very high percent which need to be eradicated.
Ndoa za utotoni zinavunja haki za binadamu ambazo zinatekeleza kuwa mtu ni lazima awe na umri wa utu uzima pale anapoingia katika ndoa kwa ridhaa yake.
Child marriage breaks the rights of children because children are married before the age of 18.
Kwenye jamii nyingi za Kitanzania, wasichana wanalazimishwa kuolewa, hivyo kuingia kwenye majukumu ya utu uzima kabla hawajakomaa kimwili na kihisia.
In Tanzanian tradition and community, most girls are forced to get married before the age of 18.
Katika jamii yetu, viongozi wa kimila pamoja na viongozi wa serikali ngazi ya vijiji na kata wamekuwa bega kwa bega na vijana katika kuhakikisha kwamba mimba na ndoa za utotoni zinazuiliwa.
In our community, youth and traditional leaders have been working together in eradicating early pregnancy and child marriage.
Shughuli ambazo zimekuwa zikifanyika katika kuzuia mimba na ndoa za utotoni.
What youth have been doing in eradicating pregnancy and child marriage.
Vijana pamoja na viongozi wa jamii tumekuwa tukifanya shughuli mbalimbali tukiwa na lengo la mimba na ndoa za utotoni. Shughuli hizo ni kama zifuatazo. Vijana pamoja na viongozi wa kijamii ngazi ya vijiji tumekuwa tukifanya kazi bega kwa bega kuhamasisha wanajamii waliotuzunguka katika kuzuia mimba na ndoa za utotoni, uhamasishaji wa ngazi ya familia, vijiji na kata.
Youth, together in collaboration with the traditional leaders, have been working together in creation of awareness in the community from family level, village level, and ward level.
Kuundwa kwa klabu za nje na ndani ya shule zilianzishwa ambazo kupitia klabu hizo vijana huzungumza na kujadili mambo mbalimbali yanayohusu haki zao.
There have been formation of in and out of school clubs where youth meet to discuss issues in relation to their rights. In these meetings, traditional leaders are invited to talk to them and provide advice and support where necessary.
Kuunganishwa na kamati za ulinzi wa mtoto ngazi ya vijiji na kata.
Also, there has been a linkage between child protection committees and the youth clubs so that the youth can know where to report in case they witness any case in their community.
Ufuatiliaji wa kesi ambazo zimekuwa zimeripotiwa na vijana.
Youth have been doing follow-ups of cases which have been reported directly to them by the help of traditional leaders.
Uhamasishaji wakati wa vikao vya vijiji.
Creating awareness in the community during village meetings.
Ufuatiliaji wa wale wasichana ambao hawakurudi shule baada ya kufungua shule.
Follow-up of the girls who did not return to school after COVID-19.
Mfano shule ya msingi Miembeni iliyoko Ifakara nchini Tanzania.
For example, in Tanzania, one of the school they had 2 girls who did not return to school, primary school girls, because they got pregnant. So youth, in collaboration with the traditional leaders, did a follow-up and analyzed the causes of why these girls didn't return to school. But because our previous president stated that girls are not allowed to go back to school if they get pregnant, so 2 girls were not able to go back to school.
Kushiriki katika kuunda na kutoa mapendekezo katika sheria ndogo ndogo.
Youth in collaboration with the traditional leaders participated in developing of the bylaws by providing ideas and opinions.
Uhamasishaji katika sekta za dini ambako ni msikitini na makanisani.
Youth in collaboration with the traditional leaders, have been participating in creating awareness in religious sectors.
Pamoja na hayo yote, kuna changamoto zinazotokea katika ushirikiano wakati ya vijana na viongozi wa kijamii.
And one of the challenges which youth are facing now is handling the cases at family level. Instead of the cases to be reported at the police, most parents solve the cases at family level. So the cases that does not reach the required sector, which is police department.
Kutokuwepo kwa midahalo ya kijamii.
Lack of community dialogues on ending child marriage.
Kutokufikisha shule zote ili kutoa uhamasishaji wa kupinga mimba na ndoa za utotoni.
Being unable to reach all schools in creating awareness, because there are so many primary and secondary schools, so all schools have not been reached. Only a few schools have been reached.
Kutokuwa na pesa za kusaidia katika kutekeleza baadhi ya shughuli katika mpango kazi wa jamii.
Lack of fund during implementation of some of the action plans which are developed by youth in their community.
Maoni juu ya changamoto.
Recommendations.
Viongozi wa jamii kuendelea kutupa nafasi ya kuhamasisha jamii katika vikao vya vijiji vinavyoandaliwa na viongozi wa kijamii.
To keep on creating awareness at community levels, family level, even in religious sectors.
Kuendelea kufanya kazi bega kwa bega na viongozi wa kijamii.
To keep on working with traditional leaders because they have been supporting very, very much.
Kuendelea kutoa support kwa vijana hasa katika klabu zetu za ndani na nje ya shule.
To get support from organizations, especially to the in and out of school clubs in our communities.
Mwisho kabisa, kupitia mradi wa kuzuia mimba na ndoa za utotoni unaotekelezwa na WISE kwa kushirikiana na Plan International, tunatoa shukrani zetu za dhati kama sisi vijana, na Mungu awabariki. Asante.
Lastly, through Ending Child Marriage Project, through Ending Child Marriage Project, youth thank Plan International and WISE for supporting them in different activities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tanzania, for the presentation. Thank you, our East African sisters. I think your presentation was very enlightening. And I think I'm just going to try to raise one point that you made about traditional leaders working with young people to assist in case responses. So I think as part of our midterm review in the draft report, I saw something interesting about the safety of young people being involved in the reporting and response to cases. I don't know how you've been doing it in Tanzania, and I think other countries, you can feel free to join in this discussion. Are young people involved in the reporting and responses on cases of child marriages, and is it safe for them to do so? So I'm posing this question not just to Tanzania, but all the other participants involved as well. Any takers?
Kwa majina naitwa Aluna Kokolo, ni vijana. Sisi kama vijana huwa tunaripoti kesi zetu kwa viongozi wa mtakuwa na tunashirikiana nao bega kwa bega katika kufuatilia kesi mbalimbali ambazo tunaripoti.
All the cases involving the youth have been reported to the Committee of Ending and Elimination of Child Marriage within the community. So they have the mtakuwa, in Swahili is the mkakati wa kupinga na kuondoa ukatili wa kijinsia, where youth are members of that committee. So all of the matters concerning the youth are reported to this representative for mtakuwa, and the representative, they report to the leaders. So all of the issues concerning the any GBV incidents that youth can experience in the community, they have a chance to report to the fellow youth, and is where the youth, they report to the traditional leaders for follow-up and other information.
Okay, so thank you very much for the response. So basically you're saying that they involve child protection structures, right?
Yes.
In case responses.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I think I see another hand. It's Puleza. You can respond. Okay, there's a hand there, Puleza. Can you respond?
Boa tarde. Eu vou responder neste computador. Mozambique.
Okay, yes, Mozambique. We hear from you, Mozambique.
Tá bem. Conforme nós sabemos, os jovens não só são parte do problema, assim como são parte da solução. Nada sobre os jovens são os jovens. Então, eu acredito que é muito seguro e há muita necessidade desses jovens estarem consciencializados com uniões prematuras e diversas outras formas de violência que os jovens enfrentam. Mas eu também tenho uma pergunta por fazer. Disseram aqui que trabalham, que os jovens de Tanzânia trabalham em conjunto com os líderes comunitários. Eu gostaria de saber, de entender como é que vocês trabalham em conjunto com esses líderes, ou por outra, quais são as atividades que vocês têm feito e têm uma ligação direta com os líderes comunitários? E obrigada.
Okay, can we please have the translation, Mozambique?
Well, before the question that she posed, she made a very brief comment on the fact that the youth, they are not only part of the problem, but they can also be part of the solution. So engaging the youth in solving the problem can be one of the key issues to be considered. Now, the question that she has raised directed to the Tanzania group has to do with the following. She wants to know how do they actually do the work with the community, traditional leaders. So specifically, what kind of activities that they engage on in this work with the traditional leaders?
Okay, thank you, Mozambique, but we didn't quite get your question. Can you kindly repeat the question?
The question is, what specific activities are there that the Tanzanian group carries out in the work between the youth and the traditional leaders?
Okay, Tanzania, this is a question for you to respond. I hope you heard the question. Tanzania, can you kindly respond to the question?
We didn't get the question.
You did mention that the youth and the traditional worker jointly work to eliminate child marriage. So the specific question that the group is addressing to you is, what are the actual activities or actions that you guys are carrying out, which definitely involve both the youth and the traditional leaders in addressing the issue? I hope that has been enlightening.
Yes. I think first they work together reporting, especially the case that has been happened direct to the youth in the community. So all of the GBV incidents that has been occurred to youth, you have the chance to talk to their fellow youth. So if there is a difficulty for example, for a girl to report a case to her mother, it's easy for a girl to talk to the youth who are representative in the committee. And when they report it to the youth who is the representative, is where the youth, they go to report to the elders, traditional leaders who are within the committee. When they report to the elder who are within the committee, so together they work to support the victim of the GBV by taking the case further or having a meeting with family members to make sure that they resolve the conflict. The other issue when they work together is through the meeting and the awareness creation. For most of the meeting, traditional leaders and youth, they do together. For example, in the Bonanza, the youth Bonanza, traditional leaders are invited there to speak to their youth, and youth themselves, they speak. After the traditional leaders, they give awareness, they talk on the matter, maybe regarding the issue of early marriage or early pregnancy is where they address through their Bonanza, but by inviting the traditional leaders to speak to them.
Okay, thank you for the response, Tanzania. Thank you. I hope Mozambique are well answered, but we also have to move a bit faster. So thank you for the presentation. I think you have showed us that sometimes we just don't work together hand in hand, as in moving together, but also coordinating our efforts, especially in terms of case response and the reporting of cases and the collecting of statistics on child marriages as well. So moving on, I think I'm going to give a chance to Zimbabwe now. So our next presenter is Febi Madondo, who's going to present representing the young people and talking about how they're working with traditional leaders in their communities to end child marriages.
Okay. My name is Febi Madondo. It is Zimbabwe country in Nyachitu, Itare district. Ndoda kungotaura maringe nemabatsirwa atinoita nema-traditional leaders edu kana paine makesi ema-teenage pregnancy nema-child marriage. Then pane number 1, pane case ye-response. Vari kutibatsira pakuti tikaripota makesi atinenge taona ma-teenage pregnancy nema-child marriage, vanenge vachiti vatibatsire kuitira kuti isu sevechidiki tisawirwa nedambudziko rekuroorwa tichiri vana vadiki, vanenge vachida magwaro edu ekuzvarwa, ma-birth certificate.
Okay, so I just want to share with you how we are collaborating efforts with traditional leaders as young people. So one way we are collaborating efforts is that the traditional leaders are helping a lot in doing case follow-ups. Because as young people, we are not on the forefront, but after a case has been reported, the traditional leaders, by virtue of their authority, are following up the cases and checking even on the birth certificates to find out the age of the children.
Child marriages, vanenge vachibatsira kune vabereki vanenge vachiti kana mwana wangu akaroorwa achiri mwana mudiki, mukaita kuti ndimuteere, ndikamutora mwana ende ndisina mari yekuti ndimudzosere kuchikoro, Saka ndo panenge vachivaonesa kuti vanofanira kuti vatore mwana iyeye adzokere kuchikoro. Second chance vanenge vachiiti yakakosha. Mwana iyeye anenge achida kuvadzidzisa zvekare kuti kana akaramba ari kumurume ikoko anenge achizowirwa nenjodzi dzakasiyana siyana nokuti anenge asati ayarwa.
Okay, so traditional leaders are also helping in difficult cases of child marriage. For instance, we have some cases where parents are not willing to have child marriage survivors being rescued from the marriage and come back to their household because of poverty issues. So in this case, the traditional leaders are helping a lot in making their follow-ups and stamping that procedures should be taken.
Traditional leaders edu tinongovatenda nekuti vari kutipa dzidziso isu sevana vechidiki kuti tisaroorwa tichiri vana vadiki, uye vanenge vachidzidzisa vabereki vedu kuti vazive kuti tinofanirwa kupiwa kodzero dzedu kuti tizowane ramangwana rakajeka, tizowanikwa tichigona kuzvimiririra tiri tega. Uye vane mitemo yavanayo yavakanyora pasi mumakommunity medu kuti kana mwana akaroorwa muvillage vamwe vanopa mishumo. So vanenge vachida kuona birth certificate remwana iyeye vasati vatambira mushumo vanenge vapiwa kuti vaone kuti mwana iyeye ava pamusoro pemakore 18.
We are also thankful to the traditional leaders because they are also complementing our efforts as young people in advocating against child marriages with our parents. Traditional leaders are taking the opportunity to engage our parents so that they don't put us as youngsters into child marriages. And we also want we are thankful for what the traditional leaders are doing. After we've done our advocacy as young people, traditional leaders are cementing this by putting commitments in place whereby they put some rules similar to the bylaws where communities, our parents and the community people are also encouraged, urged not to marry off us as youngsters into child marriages.
Okay, and then we have our second presenter, Bothwell, who's also just going to make a few additions on what Fabi has just presented.
Okay. Today is helping us by calling for intergenerational dialogue, which is a multi-demographic conservation that brings key stakeholders in the field of sexual reproductive health rights on a round table to openly discuss the challenges and the solutions that will be implemented by the villages. Also, the villages are helping us by conducting awareness campaigns. They can conduct them on social media, on social networks, like on a radio and on TV, so that the information can reach a lot of people in the village. The awareness campaign can be done also on road shows where there are also young people helping with the villages to spread the information.
Okay, thank you, Bothwell. Lastly, we are going to hear from one of our traditional leaders in Tasa district, who also attest to how they are working with young people and make recommendations going forward.
Thank you so much. I'm Mandrawe from Tasa district, representing traditional leaders here in Zimbabwe. Our experiences as traditional leaders of young people in ending child marriages. Yes, we hold meetings with the community at the village level, ward levels, so that the good news of 18+ ending child marriages reach everyone in the community. We have to noise up this topic, because the biblical term which says, "My people perish because they lack knowledge." Yes, if they lack knowledge, they will perish. More and more marriages will be experienced. So knowledge should be empowered to the community so that we will protect the girl child and to end those child marriages. Yes, we can't leave teamwork. Teamwork involving others. You see, we've got these CCWs, they work with the children. We've got the village health worker on health basis and the other stakeholders and the community at large. Yes, these people, they play a pivotal role in supporting the project of 18+ to end child marriages in our community. Also, we've got the implementations of bylaws to reduce child marriages. Yes, they should be done through the community, the village heads, and then the headmen to the chief, so that as a community, we agree that perpetrators should be punished to end these child marriages. Yeah, another issue is about the update registers of the youth from village heads. We want to know exactly who is out of the area or who has come into the area and where actually did the girl or go. That is, follow-up operation should be done. We are also doing that. And then there is this this practice of the newlyweds who celebrates this evening gathering when they married. We ban that and urges the parents today to have daylight celebrations, not evening, because these evening celebrations, they are also incinerators to other early marriages. That night, 2 or 3 couples will be married that night whilst celebrating another one. So the other thing is also, we always urge the community and to refrain from harmful cultural practice. Yes, kuripira ngozi, mabondwe, chimaramu, yes, in Shona, yes. Urge them to adopt a good cultural practice as Zimbabweans, like dressing properly, dignity, honoring elders, etc. Also, we are helping in the spearheading government programs, e.g. community mobilization of birth certificates and educating parents on the importance of birth certificate and the dangers of not having one for their children. That's what we are doing, because you have to be known in this country. You have to register with the country so that they might know you and your future will be brighter if you have got this. Yes, we are also, because we have seen that poverty is another thing which is pushing these early marriages. So we always urge parents to work for their children, to work for their families. Yes, encouraging them to have livelihoods projects like ISO's Mukando, fish projects, banana project, etc., so that we will eradicate poverty, because some of the experiences from parents and teachers, they were saying that some of the students, they come to school without anything to eat, which simply comes from the parent. The parent will just let out the child go without giving anything. By so doing, when you see others enjoying their stuff at lunch or at break, they are then bribed by these boys. Okay, thank you. Right. Then the other one is the Nanga concept. The Nanga concept is the girls' houses for sleeping. now which is being used, it is now being used as hygiene and career guidance, ETC, and the reintroduction of the padari for boys, padari, where they are taught cultural values and they are being educated for a brighter future. And finally, our recommendations is that there is need for more projects for the youth. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's clap hands for Zimbabwe. Okay, thank you so much, Zimbabwe, for the presentation. I think I'm going to open it up to other countries if you have any questions or responses and reactions to the presentation. And also maybe just to comment, he just talked about the Nanga concept. We are also going to have Dr. Nyaradzai talk to us just before we finish the session. So I don't know if there are any reactions. I don't see a hand yet. Any comments, any reactions to Zimbabwe?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You can go ahead.
Yes, I'm Esther from Zambia. The presenters said how they deal with the child marriage within the community and how they work with the traditional leaders. Now, I just wanted to add on. I think the traditional leaders and the young people can work together with teachers to address the issue, because most of the times young people spend a lot of time in schools and not at home. So I think if traditional leaders and young people can work hand in hand with the teachers to teach the young the learners on the effects and dangers of child marriage and the teen pregnancy. Young people can know the dangers and the effects of child marriage and teen pregnancy. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the reaction. I think you made a really good point. And also to add to that, here in Zimbabwe, we have child protection committees at all levels, which is village, ward level, district level, and also provincial level. And you'll find that educators are also part of those CPCs so that they can actually influence children in schools in order to end child marriages. I think Tanzania, I see your hand. Tanzania, over to you. Tanzania, I think you muted. Okay.
Kwa kifupi tunaomba mtuambie maana ya nanga. Nanga concept.
One of the youth representatives would like to know about the Nanga concept.
Okay. So I'm going to give that to opportunity to Dr. Nyaradzai. I think she has a lot of knowledge as she has been implementing that one. So when she gives us a speech, I think she'll talk more about the Nanga concept. Thank you, Tanzania. Okay, any other reactions?
Yes. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, Zambia. Yes, Zambia, go ahead, please.
Yes, I'm Gloria from Zambia. I just want to add on where I said that the community leader can work together with young people. Can work in hand in hand with traditional leaders, even our health workers. Because in health workers, this is where we have the records, where they see people who have early pregnancies, the 18 years and below. So when we're working with the community health workers, we can end these child marriages. Even when we, to address the issue of early marriages, if one or in our community have early marriages, we can go even out to we have the paralegal desks in our community. So it will be easy to address this issue to our paralegals, even our traditional leaders. Because our traditional leaders, they have their safe spaces in their parishes. Thank you.
Thank you for the contribution, Zambia. Thank you so much. I think without further ado, I'm going to call upon Dr. Nyaradzai Gumbonjanda to give us her remarks as we close the session. Dr. Nyaradzai.
Thank you so much. I hope now I'm loud and clear and you can hear me. Can we confirm, moderator?
Yes, you're loud and clear, Dr. Nyaradzai.
Thank you so much. Again, my respect to all the leaders in the house, the traditional leaders in the house, the hosts, and all the participants. I came in when the amazing daughters of Africa were sharing their experiences. So I also want to congratulate all the young leaders, the young girls and the young boys who did share from Tanzania, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Malawi, and Zambia. So I just want to share a few thoughts because most of the things have already been discussed. First is that as the AU Goodwill Ambassador and in my work as Rosaria Memorial Trust, we believe that for you to be called a human being, you need to have an identity. And that identity is in your culture. And that culture must be positive. It must build, it must protect you, and it must unleash the potential in you. This is why I'm very excited to work closely with Plan International and with all the traditional leaders, because what we are doing is to reclaim the dignity of the African people by using culture and the leadership of traditional leaders to remove the negative cultural practices. In my own community, I've been working very closely with the two chiefs who are in the house today, who are participating in this regional meeting. Chief Bushu and Chief Madziwa are participating, and also other chiefs like Chief Nyamaropa, Chief Mutumba, and Chief Mangwende in Murewa, but also Chief Chamuka, who spoke earlier today, Chief Chikumbu in Malawi, and Kachindamote and others. So what I am very passionate about is that I am a lawyer who believes that unless and until we recognize and build our customary laws, we will continue to have issues in society to do with social justice. So the work that the traditional leaders are doing in developing bylaws to end harmful practices, it's bylaws to protect human rights. These are bylaws to develop our communities. So congratulations to all the traditional leaders who have developed these bylaws. What is also emerging is that traditional leaders, the structures we have in communities, most of the community meetings do not include young people in the meetings. And we have heard the powerful experiences of the young people. So how can the chief's courts, the village meetings also have an opportunity for the young people to be part of the dialogue? I think the point has been raised very strongly by the young people. It is also very important that we realize that especially in SADC region, in many of the countries in Southern Africa, the chief's court is part of the formal justice system of the country. It is not an alternative. It is part of the justice system of the country. And at the same time, we realize that there's not been a strong support to building capacity of the traditional chief's courts. We see a lot of training of judges, of magistrates, but not so much of modifying, strengthening, building capacity. So I sit here very excited about the innovation which has started with some traditional leaders. And I hope, Chief Bushu, you will have time to talk about the special court that you have established in your chiefdom, so that cases of domestic violence, cases of child marriage are treated in a way that understands the dynamics of abuse and exclusion. The last point I wanted to share is about the Nanga, which was a question which was also raised. The notion of safe space, single gender space for boys and for girls has existed in the African culture for centuries. And yet in development language, now when we say safe spaces, we just think of the girls' clubs, the youth clubs, but culturally and traditionally, we have always had the spaces where the girls come together with their mothers, with their aunties, the boys come together with their fathers and their uncles, just working together with Plan International and other partners. We did a regional study in SADC to understand the Nanga. So we realized that within the Shona culture, it's called a Nanga for girls, a Gota for boys. We know Malawi in Zambia, we have in Siswati, but it's that cultural space where girls are taught to be respectful. But we also realize that there are certain things which are bad that are taught in these Nangas. And we are saying the Nanga is good, but we need to change the curriculum so that we keep the good things that happen inside, but we also ask and work with our traditional leaders to remove the bad things. Things that came out include girls are taught how to have sex when you go for some of the sessions. And then after the sessions in the Nanga, which normally they have to go and practice, that is what we need to be removed, to be banned. But what is good is to remain with the Nanga, where girls can be taught to be respectful, to know hygiene, to know that when you are now mature enough to have a boyfriend, you bring them to your aunties for informing, you negotiate. But we also want a modern Nanga, which talks about technology, which promotes education, entrepreneurship skills, so that we remain African and grounded, but in a Nanga that promotes and protects the dignity of girls. And I'm sure some of the traditional leaders in the house who are already implementing a modern Nanga can talk to this, can share more information. And lastly, I'm just so excited about this program. And I hope that we can continue to partner. I know Nena from the African Union spoke. I am writing my report as the African Union Goodwill Ambassador to the AU. And I have seen the document you are launching today, Plan International, the best practice paper. I will definitely build on that. And again, thank you so much for the support to my mandate. I want to thank Mr. Sam Noga and the team, Sarah and the rest in Addis Ababa, the team at the 18 plus with Festus and the rest. We thank you so much, Lazarus, before he left, and the amazing team. I'm Zimbabwean, the team that I live with in Zimbabwe. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to meeting you, Chief Mutasa, personally, and to come and give my own respect to you. I know that we've met a number of times, but I just wanted to speak to you much more directly and say, continue to write. I know, Chief Mutasa, you have been writing. And I also want to encourage other traditional leaders for you to personally write your stories. Because if you do not write, some Muzungu from somewhere, some expert from somewhere is going to come and write your story. So we want to see our traditional leaders write, publish, and we support you so that you tell your story of how you are changing the African culture whilst remaining grounded within the African culture, because the future of Africa remains young. The future of Africa is when the daughters and sons have been educated, are healthy, and have a potential for their future. Again, I thank you so much, and I give you my full support, both to the work within the chiefdoms, to the work that Plan International is doing, and also to the work that we do together collectively. I thank you so much, and I wish you the very best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Nyaradzai, for the wise words, for the inspiring words. You're truly an inspiration, especially in light of ending child marriages. I think what we have learned today really is that the reinforcement of positive cultural norms will really push us forward in terms of ending child marriages. And traditional leaders as the custodians of culture, if they are at the forefront, we can really win this game. So I'm going to open this time up to anyone who wants to add something for the next maybe 5 minutes before we close the session. So if there are any traditional leaders or young people who want to add some recommendations, some solutions, some best practices, just a bit on how you can work together. But maybe we'll start with Zimbabwe. I'm just going to give Chief Mutasa just a minute to share his contributions.
Thank you, Dr. Nyaradzai. I would like to say we are sending the wrong message. The term child marriage is just a misnomer. This is child abuse. It's not a marriage at all. So I'm of the view that the message we are sending, there's nothing called child marriage. It's just child abuse. Because the definition of a marriage does not fit in. Someone who is below 18. We are saying anyone who is 18 and above, they've got that capacity to marry. What about someone who is below? And we are saying it, and we are calling that a marriage. We are legitimizing child abuse as a marriage. Thank you, Doctor. I'm writing another article called The Stolen Childhood. I believe that marrying a child, you are actually stealing a childhood. So another article is coming out, The Stolen Childhood. I hope I'm going to write more because you are actually inspiring me to write more on this subject. As I've said, child marriage, there's nothing called child marriage. This is child abuse, not a marriage. Thank you.
Thank you, So thanks to Chief Mutasa. I don't know if there's anyone who still wants to just add maybe 1 or 2 contributions before we close, but we also have another contribution here from Zimbabwe.
My name is Chief Bushu from Shamba District in Mashana Central Province. Thank you, Doctor, for mentioning our names in respect of the bylaws that we have put in our district in Shamba, mainly our 4 chiefs, Chief Madziva, Chief Mtumba, Chief Nyamaropa, and myself. I would like to just say a few words about the special court. After producing a document or some bylaws of our district, as you know, Shamba district is an area or a district where it is rich in minerals, mainly gold, and a small farming community. Small scale mining is happening in our district. It is very difficult with the girl child. More cases are rising of girl child being married at a tender age, especially below the age of 18. Now, as chiefs in the district, we want to thank very much RMT, Dr. Gumbo Nzwanda, Hilda Garagumbo, for helping us to prosper in setting up bylaws. We did this because we have our girl child at our heart. We have the highest number in Mashana Central of children who are getting married at the age of 18 or below. This has caused our district to be on the red spot, and we have contributed our district. We have given a bad name on the province, a bad name to the Zimbabwe, which we have addressed by producing bylaws of our district. But when we have done this, we saw that it was very important to produce a special court, or to establish a special court. This special court, it is a special court for ending child marriages, and it was created mainly for children below the age of 18. This purpose of this creation of a special court was to expedite matters affecting children below the age of 18. The court should be presided by the chief. On the assessors, one of the assessors, or the children should be one of the assessors in the special court. This special court will be involved with every we can say stakeholder, be it the victim-friendly unit. They are part of the special court. We also have a member from disability who sits on the special court. A young girl sits on the special court. When this special court is to preside, the child is asked if she is willing to start the court with every member who is sitting. Is she in liberty with whatever is happening in the court? During that court session, only professionalism is experienced. We don't want biased court. Keeping of records is the main thing that is involved in the special court. It is only focused on the attention of children who have experienced child marriage, children who have been abused, and the special court is only done on closed doors, and it involves the family members in the court, thereby creating a compensation fund after the special court. This compensation fund, whatever has been fined in the special court, it goes for a re-entry of a girl child to go back to school, to send back after maybe giving birth, or after experiencing the abuse. We give the child a re-entry to school. Who runs the compensation fund? Members of the chieftainship, members of the community, audited by the government or stakeholders. It gives life to second life, or a new lease of life to children who have experienced this trauma of abuse or child marriages. This is what we call special court and the compensation trust fund, which we have created within our district, and is benefiting the girl child. We are very much committed in ending child marriage, and we hope by 2030, a very few cases, or at least no cases, will be experienced within our district, because all the chiefs have sat down and we have agreed on the district that we should move forward on protecting the girl child. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we've heard a lot about how the traditional leaders, especially here in Zimbabwe, are working, especially with young people, to end child marriages and to pursue the implementation of the law, and also importantly to fill in the gaps where the law is not aligned or where the law is not addressing issues that can help us end child marriages. So thank you again, Dr. Nyaradzai. Thank you to our chiefs who made contributions, but we are running out of time, and we have Malawi. Malawi, I can see your hand. If you can make your contribution in a minute or less. Tanzania.
Okay. Malawi, I'm Christina Mbotera. Ife tikungotokoza kuti mafumu tukugwira nawo ntchito bwino, ndipo tikupempha kuti apitirize. Mafumu kuno athesa ndithu tagwirizana nawo manja ndithu amonga achinyamata ndi mafumu kuthesa maukwati ochuluka ndithu. Komano chikhalidwe chonyasa chimene chili ngati kuno ku Malawi ndi chinamwali inde chinamwali cho chilipo ndi chabwino koma chikhalidwe chilipo monga kusasa fumbi chikuchepa panopa koma tikupempha mafumunso kuti mene mwayambira kuchichepesa chikhalidwe chimene chitheretu chifukwa chimene chiso mbuyo chimapereka kuchiopsezo kwa asikana kutenga mimba adakali achipera akachoka kuchinamwali kuja ati kasase fumbi kumene kuja basi kupeze kuti aindi mimba adakali achipera koma tikuthokoza chifukwa mafumu akugwirana manjanda makolo achinyamata kuchichepesa chikhalidwe chachani chakusasa fumbi ndi tikupempha mafumu kuti chitherere chikhalidwe chimenechi koma tikuthokozani kwambiri mafumu chifukwa pena mumapezeka kuti tili ma club ma youth club mumapezeka kuti mukubwera momu kumatipasa uphungu oyenera achinyamata tikuthokozani kwambiri.
GENET mpata Ministry of Context la bonfani kuthokoza kwa kupanga malamulo wao. Malamulo mwana panga mafumwa amapangisa makolo kapena anthu kumaopa kuti akalowese mwana mbanja adakali wa Mungu. Chifukwa amaopa kuti kulipira zosiyana-siyana. Ndiye ine ndikungofuna kupe mphaniso ni mafumu kuti mupitirize kukhwimisa chitetezo malamulo wanu.
Thank you. We are waiting for the translation.
All right. The first speaker was saying she's very thankful for the coordination and collaboration that young people have with traditional leaders here in Malawi. They're working hand in hand to end harmful traditional practices. For example, initiation ceremonies, where young people are taught to have sexual intercourse with the opposite sex after the initiation ceremony. These traditional practices were very rampant in the areas that they're coming from, but after the interventions by young people in collaboration with traditional leaders through the 18+ BNZ project, she can attest that there is a decrease in such practices. Also, she was saying that she's thankful that traditional leaders would sometimes go to the youth, to their respective youth clubs to interact with young people on different issues, more especially related to ending child marriages. The second speaker mainly focused on bylaws. She says she's thankful to traditional leaders for formulating bylaws and implementing the bylaws. And she just wants to encourage traditional leaders to continue with the implementation of the bylaws, because these bylaws are actually working in the various communities that they are coming from. She has seen that with the bylaws, there is actually a decrease in child marriages. So she just wants to encourage traditional leaders to continue working with young people and continue implementation of such bylaws. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Malawi, for the recommendation. I think we'll also hear from Tanzania.
Kwanza kabisa kama Watanzania tunashukuruni ninyi kwa kutukumbusha na kutufundisha, kwa maana utamaduni wa namna hiyo hata sisi kwetu tunao, lakini ninyi mmetumia plani ya kutufundisha kwamba katika utamaduni wenu, na sisi kwa kuwa tunao tumejifunza kitu kutoka kwenu, na sisi tutakwenda kutekeleza kama mlivyotekeleza nyie, kutokana na nini? Na utamaduni wa ngoma zetu. Nanga concept ile. Na sisi inaitwa sisi kunta unyago au chagulaga. Hizo zote ni ngoma za sisi ambazo tutatekeleza baada ya kuwafunza, tulikuwa tunafunza sisi, mlivyotusaidia kutukumbusha. Asante sana.
Okay. One of the traditional leaders is saying, in Tanzania, first of all, we thank you for this meeting because it has helped them to learn new, interesting things. In Tanzania, we also have the Jando and the Unyago, which it relates with the Nanga concept. So the traditional leaders are saying that they are going to adopt the Nanga concept in their communities, so that the girls will be taught useful topics instead of being taught unuseful things like how to care for men, just like that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Tanzania. I think we are already opening up our contributions to the next part of the day, which Lynn will take over. I'm not going to introduce Lynn, but just to say we're already seeing the best practices that will be implemented by the traditional leaders. So I think this will be the end of the session, talking about how traditional leaders and young people are working together to end child marriages. Thank you so much for all of your contributions.
Hi, Bridget.
Matey, I think I'll hand over.
What,
Hey,
sorry,
Lynn, how are you?
There's a question from our traditional leadership in the chat box from Zambia.
Oh, okay. Oh, is there? Wait, okay, let me try to read out the question.
And this is for Zimbabwe.
It says, to what extent does the special court? Yes, I see it's for Zimbabwe, right? Okay, so it says, to what extent does the special court deal with matters affecting child rights, since some of them may be criminal in nature, such as defilement, indecent assault, rape, etc. So the special courts have the capacity to interpret the law. And is the state aware of the existence of this special courts? So I think I'll call the chief to come and answer. Okay, just give us a few seconds.
As I said before, in our court, we also work with the police who are doing who are on the victim-friendly unit. Where there is a case which is very criminal, we refer it to the police, but we use the dual system. Where you have seen you have done wrong in our chieftainship, the police will handle the matter on their own way of the criminal way. Then we use the cultural way of doing the right thing to the child that you have wronged. So we are using the dual system where there are two scenarios: the criminal way and the cultural way, where we are saying the special court mainly is to protect the girl child of the wrongful thing that has happened, and it has got its penalties in our chieftainships, where we say you have taken somebody who is at the age of 16, and we are saying this case has to be handled by the police. But also in our bylaw, we are saying this thing that you have happened, that has happened in our chieftainship is not allowed. We give a penalty for that of the penalty for the offense that you have done in our chieftainship. So yes, the criminal will be handled by the police. The other the penalty or the offense that you have done in our chieftainships has got its own penalty, and the fine of paying, maybe if it is a boven that you are supposed to pay, you pay 2 bovens as the system of our cultural values and how we live within the chieftainship.
Okay, I think we've heard the response from the chief. So unfortunately, this was going to be an interesting discussion, but we've run out of time, so we have to wrap up. So I think I'll declare this the end of our session, and Meti, you can take over for the next one. Thank you. Meti, over to you.
Zakaris. Hello. Okay. So can you hear me now? I think I have dropped a few minutes ago, but I'm back. Thank you, Bridget, for the excellent deliberation of this session. And thank you all participants for your contributions. And I hope It has been as informative and as interesting for me as it is for you. At this time, I would like to introduce the next session, which will be the launching of the best practice document, which will be led by Lynn from the Center of Excellence. Lynn, if you are ready, we can start with this session.
Hi, Matty. Thank you very much. I hope you can see me. I hope everybody can see me. Do you mind beaming the cover page of the document?
Okay, I am starting it. So just give me a few minutes and then 2 seconds.
Any luck? Is it coming? Matty?
Yes, Lynn, I will start beaming it. You can start.
No, I want to. They have my presentation starts from the cover.
All right. Okay. Just give me a second.
Okay.
So documents. So yeah. Yeah. You see it now.
Yes. Okay. So I'll tell you to move when I'm ready to move. But for now, good afternoon, Your Royal Highnesses in Malawi, Tanzania, Mozambique, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. For the other countries that do not know me, my name is Lynn Chinene. I sit at the Center of Excellence on Ending Child Marriage at Plan International that covers the region of Middle East, Eastern, and Southern Africa. So I will take everyone back to September of 2019. The Center of Excellence on Ending Child Marriage, through the Strengthening Civil Society to End Child Marriage project, currently being implemented in Malawi, Tanzania, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, funded by the Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, which is BMZ, with overwhelming support from all the country offices, Plan International country offices that span from the region of Middle Eastern, Eastern Southern Africa, developed a best practices publication, which pretty much showcases the best practices that traditional leaders are implementing in their chiefdoms, so that other traditional leaders that are actually trying to do the same in their countries can learn from. So September 2019, we were privileged to travel to Uganda, where we had the participation of Chieftainess Chikumbu from Malawi, Chieftainess Kachingamoto. From Zambia, we had Chief Chisunka, Chief Kalasalu Kangaba, we had Chief Chamuka. In Zimbabwe, from Zimbabwe, we had Chief Mutasa, and we had so many chiefs that came from 10 countries. These countries being Egypt, Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, Malawi, Mozambique, South Sudan, Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. So at this traditional leaders meeting, we had our traditional leadership share what they are doing in their chiefdoms. And during that meeting, we actually had the traditional leadership help us rank the strengths of the of the interventions that they're implementing, and collectively we agreed on best practices that they're implementing and lessons, so that we can be able to put them together in one document and showcase them. So I'm happy to announce that from that work that we did together with you, our AULO leadership, we developed this best practices publication. It's called Working with Traditional Leaders to End Child Marriage. Can we go to page 2, please? So this is what the document looks like. We have it in soft copy version. We will make hard copy versions and ensure that we circulate them to all of you. And all the country officers that were involved in this publication development will also be asked to print hard copies so that we can share them with you and you can share them with your wider network. Because this pretty much showcases what you, our traditional leaders, are doing, and is actually even showing the extent or the impact of your work in the chiefdoms. Page 2. But keep going, Meti.
Okay.
Okay, skip the contents. Skip. So this is the publication. I just want you to see what it looks like.
Should I
keep
go?
Going slowly. Keep going. I hope you like what it looks like, because this is about you. So those are the countries in pink that are featuring in this publication. Okay, let's keep going. Again, I want us to come to the countries itself. Keep going. Keep going. I'll tell you when to stop.
Okay.
Okay, stop there. So, oops. Okay. So we can see Egypt there. We got best practices from Egypt that were placed into the publication. Keep going. We have Ethiopia. That is the best practices from Ethiopia. It actually shows who the chiefs are that share their best practices. And that's the same with Kenya. Keep going. Don't stop, just keep going. Malawi. Just keep going, Meti. I just want to show them. Mozambique, South Sudan, Tanzania. And it actually shows who the chiefs are themselves. Uganda. So as you can see in this publication so far, in Zambia, we have Chief Chisunka listed up there, Chief Kalasa Lukangala listed up there, keep going. Chief Chamuka listed right here, keep going. That's Chief Mutasa there, he's showcasing his bylaws. We have Zimbabwe there, that's from his chiefdom. So that's from the Masai, the Kenya, from Kenya. And we also have stories from Kenya on the best practices that the Masai themselves, believe it or not, are implementing in their chiefdoms. And that's, keep going. Keep going. We are coming to the end of the publication. So this is what the publication is. At that meeting in Lira, Uganda, we had indicated that we would come up with this. This is a document that we have shared far and wide, not just within Plan International networks, but we've shared it beyond to other UN agencies, other civil society organizations, and so on. And we've actually listed your chiefdoms and your names for your participation. And this is not, the fight to end child marriage is just not focused on Plan International. So many other institutions are coming together. As we all agree, it's a multi-sectoral approach that we need to take in order to end child marriage. So all these institutions that will have access to this document will definitely reach out to you, our AULO leadership, because they'll be able to see what you are doing. So at this particular moment in time, I don't want to bore everybody. I just wanted you to see what this publication looks like, and to officially launch it, may I kindly ask all the countries to unmute their microphones, and can we the citizens of the chiefdoms give our traditional leadership a big hand of applause for the hard work that they're doing to help us fight child marriage. Let's ululate, let's scream, let's dance, let's, you name it. So can we all unmute some microphones, please? To mark the official launch of this document. I want noise. Okay? Our chiefs are working so hard for us. They deserve. Sorry? Oh, it wasn't in error. So is everybody ready? Yes. So when I say 1, 2, 3, I want to hear screaming from each country, clapping, ululating, you name it, to mark the launch of this best practices publication. Are you ready?
Yes. Yes, we are.
1, 2, 3. Which country or that enough?
Messi, please put the book up again so that for photography sake.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I'm saying for photography sake, we need that cover back up.
Oh, okay.
The cover.
The cover page.
Okay.
So on behalf of the Center of Excellence on Ending Child Marriage, we cannot thank you enough for the partnership that we've created with your able leadership. You have so much responsibility on your hands, but you've found time during these 2-3 days to come and join us and discuss this issue that is affecting the livelihoods of our children. I'd like to believe, I think it was Chief Mutasa who said that, you see, child marriage is robbing our children of their childhood. And what do we need to do to ensure that the children enjoy their rights to full potential? So therefore, that is the publication which I have already, I'm assuming you've given us the permission to share this document far and wide, which I have before even asking permission. And obviously so many other institutions, not just Plan International alone, but so many other institutions, because of what they will see in this document, may even reach out to you directly so that you can engage and work with them based on the fact that they are able to see what you are showcasing and to see the milestones that you are reaching in your chiefdoms. So did we agree that each country will cheer or we are done?
Very good, Chair.
Matty, what did we agree?
Sorry, Lee?
I'm saying, did we agree that each country will cheer on their own again, each country at a time, or that was enough? Did we share the traditional leadership?
I think we need each country to cheer.
Each country to cheer. So let's start with Malawi. This is a competition.
Yes.
Let's start with Malawi. Show us how you say thank you to our traditional leadership. Malawi. We can't hear. We can't hear you, man. Okay. Can I see you? Are they here? Oh, we've lost Mozambique. Tanzania. We can't hear. Zambia, you ready? Yes. Oh, Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe. Show our traditional leadership gratitude. Zimbabwe. We can't hear. Zimbabwe, and then finally Zambia. All right, well, thank you so much. Over to you, Mitch.
Thank you, Lynn. That was such a powerful session to see the best practice document being launched in this particular meeting. It's really an honor, our team.
Mozambique, are you back?
Mozambique, are you back? If you can hear us, you can cheer. I think it's the connection, but
they'll show us tomorrow.
Yes, they will do that tomorrow. So thank you. Octavia, are you here? Okay. Thank you so much.
Time, please.
Okay,
Lean for Mozambique.
Okay.
Lean.
Hi, are you ready?
You know, I am here.
Okay, we can't see you. Is there a way we can have the center on Mozambique?
Internet connection, but it's
okay. Go ahead and show us how it's done in Mozambique. I think we've lost them again.
Yeah. Okay, there they are. But Octavia, you can turn on the camera.
Okay, well, they'll show us tomorrow. That will be the first thing tomorrow. Thank you, Meg.
All right, Lynn, thank you so much. And as promised, we would, okay, Octavia is back. Can you hear us? Octavia?
Yeah, put them, you know.
So, can you cheer just for a minute or so, if you're here with us? Okay, I guess it's bad connection, so we can give the chance to Mozambique tomorrow, first thing in the morning. Thank you, everyone. I think it has been an engaging day, and I'm so happy that we were able to touch upon so many issues that relates to ending child marriage, the work that has been done with by our traditional leaders, their engagement with the youth, also the session we had with the AU campaign on the works of the campaign, as well as AU protocols and normative frameworks in relation to the child, in relation to ending child marriage. So I think we have overrun our time. We were supposed to end, I think almost 14 minutes ago, but yeah, the connection and other related technical issues has brought us to this time. At this time, I would like to say thank you for your participation, your contribution, and everything. Thank you, each country team, for our today's session. Thank you, our traditional leaders, Your Royal Highness. You were the color of our meeting today. And thank you, everyone. So with this, I will conclude today's session, but we will definitely be meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m. at this time. I think it's 9 for all other countries participating in this meeting. See you tomorrow. Have a lovely evening. Please continue discussing the with among your friends, colleagues, as we have shared the agenda for tomorrow. I'm sure we will be having more experience sharing time tomorrow in the morning. So those of you who think that you didn't share enough today, we will definitely have time tomorrow for discussions and sharing and exchanging of experiences. So thank you and have a good evening. Only for the project coordinators, maybe I will send a WhatsApp message. But other than that, good night, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Amy, over to you if you have anything else to say.
Thank you so much. Today has been an amazing day. The sound was amazing. The photo, the quality of video was good. Let's meet tomorrow. Please, let's meet. We join in a bit 10 minutes early so we can start on 10 on the dot so we don't have to wait for other people. Yeah, so let's join in on time tomorrow. Thank you so much and God bless you.